Good morning, my name is Chris Clark and we'll be teaching you today how to properly perform a sterile field and kind of prepare that, alright? Step one, all my packages are here laid out on this clean and dry table. Both tables that I have or any work surface that you're going to use is going to have to be clean and dry. Your first step, step number one, is going to be to inspect these packages. Packages can be expired, meaning of course that they're out of date. They can be ripped, torn, soiled, collect moisture. You just want to make sure that all of these packages, you do go over and inspect every one of these to make sure that there's not anything wrong with them. They're going to be completely viable to use. All right, step two is going to be properly performing your hand hygiene. Normally, what we go ahead and do is wash our hands per your proper precautions. However, for the purpose of this video, I've already washed my hands and we're just going to, assume they're clean and dry as well, okay? And make sure that they do get completely dry before you go ahead and start your technique as well. So, the other thing to note, these tables, any work surface that you use has to be at waist level or above. Also, your hands have to be up there too. You don't ever want to lower your hands down because that's going to break your sterile field and then you're going to have to just start all over again. Same thing with a table or any other work surface. If it's known to be below your waist level, regardless of how you do your sterile technique, it's going to be considered unsterile and you should get that fixed. Alrighty? Next step is we're going to get our drape out. So drapes come in these packages here, like so. And we're just going to very carefully peel this package open. We're being very careful not to keep this too close to the table or too close to our body because we want to do everything that we can to make sure that our sterile field is not going to be broken. So how this is going to come out is there's going to be a corner in here for most of these. And we can actually lay this down on the table, that's okay, and peel this back. Just make note that I'm not reaching over this or letting anything fall on it. So now, I'm gonna take just my two fingers here, my forefinger and my thumb, and I'm just gonna very gently grab the corner of this. I'm gonna pull it up, okay? I'm not gonna shake this. It is not close to my body. It's not close to the table either, but it's not gonna be flailing around. I'm gonna take my hand that is not got this pinched and I'm gonna throw away this package, okay? Now then, I'm gonna grab the other small corner with my other hand and I'm gonna twist it just to where I am not touching any more than the 1 inch border. Now I'm gently gonna lay this on the table, making note that no more than 1 inch of the border is being touched. Now, we do not reach over the sterile field or the drape, but I can come around the corner as such and very gently peel that back as need be to center out my field. See how I'm reaching around as so. Now our sterile drape is open. Now our next step is to place items on our sterile field. Note that my hands are still at my waist level or above. I've not went below to break my sterile field or my sterile technique. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our items. Items can be placed on the sterile field almost directly. And how we do that, we gently grab this. We're gonna open our items in which we're gonna use. Okay, we're just gonna grab the corner. We're gonna barely come over our sterile field and making sure that we know this is inside the 1 inch border. 1 inch all the way around is going to be unsterile and we can touch that area with just pinching of our fingers. We're going to keep this package and our contents within 6 inches of the sterile field and we're just going to let it drop there in the middle. That is still considered sterile. We're going to do the same as such for every item that we have. We're going to gently peel these open. And we're just going to squeeze that out and kind of let that drop there. That's completely fine. We're going to do that for all of our items here that we have in our sterile field package. And one thing to also note is that if items touch each other, nope, that one wants to cling on. If items do touch each other, that's completely okay. They are still considered sterile. Sterile touching sterile is still going to be sterile. And we have a little dressing here. One thing to know with packages with dressings is just like we opened our sterile drape on the table, you don't have to worry about opening these on the table. Just open them here in front of you. That way you can do this right here and peel both away and let it fall, just as so. Same thing for our abdominal pads. This is a pretty large package here. So to make sure that we do keep that close and peel away and peel up a little bit if you need to. There we go. Just to get that out of the package. Now then, what I typically have here is a trash can or something else. For purposes, I'm just going to draw these down here. As such, we're going to dispose of those with our non-dominant hand over here. Now then, here's our glove package. Our next step is to open up our gloves. So we have our clean and dry table here, and I just thought of something as well. I did take my hand and lower it below this table to throw my packages away. Now, normally I would have a trash can, there, and I would not, or a waste can, and I would not lower my hand below my waist level. Technically, it may went out of the frame of the video, but I did not lower it lower than my waist level. I just dropped it there on the floor. However, had I lowered it, I would have had to start all over again. Now, so the next thing I want to do is I'm going to carefully open the package of my gloves. Since I have this free table, I'm going to open it here. I have this here. Now then, I'm going to carefully grab the glove package and set it on the table. The only time that I'm going to reach above or go over anything sterile is when I'm opening these gloves, and I'm doing it at the side. Now then, I'm going to turn this around, and we're just going to pinch it because we want to maintain sterility as much as we can. Pinch and open. I'm going to come at the sides, pinch that open as much as we can. Same thing for this. And then we're just going to barely pinch the corners here to open up our package. Okay. Now then, gloves of course in here are going to be sterile. Now what I want to do is I want to take my non-dominant hand, and the gloves here are cuffed. So I want to take my non-dominant hand, I want to pinch and put on the glove that goes on my non-dominant hand first. So I'm right-handed, so I'm going to take my right hand, I'm going to pinch with my thumb and my forefinger the cuff of my non-dominant hand glove, and then I'm going to tuck in my thumb to slide this on. Remember to tuck that thumb, sometimes it's a bit tricky. See, there it goes. And then we're gonna slide that baby on. Alrighty. Now then, this glove is now sterile. Now, with these sterile gloved hands, I'm gonna put two fingers together, and I'm gonna kind of do a little scooping motion underneath the cuff of the glove that's gonna go on my right hand. So I'm gonna very carefully work my fingers under there. You can put a third one under there if I need to. Like that right there. I'm gonna kind of hold it like so. These are upside down, but, and then I'm gonna tuck this, and now I can slide this glove on. Oh, just my hand around there. Okay. Now my hands are sterile. Now what I can do is I can't touch the underside of that cuff. That is not sterile. But what I can do is now I can grab sterile glove to sterile glove. I can grab this part if need be and work it down if I need to work it over my hand a little bit more. So see, it is on the sterile part, and I then can pull it over if I need to. And now my hands are completely sterile. they're above waistline, and now I can touch the items in my sterile field and do the procedure, dressing change, whatever I need to do, just making sure that A, your hands and field always stay above waist level, and that you do not touch the 1-inch outer border of your sterile field that is considered unsterile. Thank you, and best of luck.